I know it's not really time yet, but it's close enough. Hello! Happy Monday! I hope everything is going see. I hope everybody else is having as fun of a day. Too early, exactly. It's too early. Well, I hope you're all having a fun day like I am. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I mean, oodalolly, oodalolly, golly, what a day. Boy, do I need to show the Brit? Did you get crowdstruck again? Oh God, no! I hope not. No, no. See, the thing is, CrowdStrike doesn't have to cover up anything right now. That's the thing. I am thoroughly convinced that CrowdStrike is covering something up, and the reason they did that was because they needed to cover something up that was pretty big. I have no proof of this. I have no evidence, but that's just what I believe. I'm fairly certain they're covering something up. What that thing is, I don't know exactly. But you don't take down the whole world a few days after an assassination attempt by accident. That's just kind of weird. I mean, I'm just saying. That just seems kind of weird. Asset company puts a fourth of their money into shorting the stock of the man who almost gets killed. They fail, and all of a sudden, a few days later, that transaction ceases to exist. And there's a massive IT outage, but nobody wants to notice that. That's fine. Everything's fine. It totally wasn't an organized hit. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Everything's on the level. Everything's normal, and you live in a free country. Happy Monday. So is anybody else having fun yet? Remember, just repeat after me. We live in a fair constitutional republic. And in no way are we being played by people that don't give a shit about us. Oh. How was everybody's Monday? I hope it's been going well for everybody. The election wasn't stolen. Exactly. There is no war in Ba Sing Se either. The enemies are at the gates, but there is no war in Ba Sing Se, I promise. At least, see, here's the thing. Me being the horrible emperor that I am, at least I'm still building infrastructure. I'm building schools. I'm building arenas. I'm building temples and churches and stuff. I'm being a net positive for the community, which means that in this video game, I am more effective at my job than pretty much anybody in politics currently, which is really sad. That's a really low bar. It's a really low bar. And the thing is, I'm even doing their strategy. I'm throwing money at my problems. I'm not even doing this like a legit way. I'm doing this in a way that, you know, a 5-year-old would do it. Which is, hey, I need X. I'm going to throw money at it until that problem goes away. Yeah, absolutely. The Venezuelan election was just as fair as ours were. Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, I got it. Got it. Gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Alright, now let's see if I can drop these guys off. And I'm going to show the British what it's really like to have a unique problem. We're gonna show the British how to actually riot, and when I mean how to actually riot, I mean we're going to put them down. You either go big or you go home. Because right now the British are having just a banger time, as the British say. Isn't that how they say, a banger? I have, however, encouraged Geisha to understand why it is that I dislike the British so much. Bang up time. Is it bang up time? I don't even know. See, I have convinced Geisha why it is that I dislike the British, and all it took was me to go, yeah, they call Asians Middle Easterners. I'm sorry, they call Middle Easterners Asians, and she about lost her mind. The fact that she was See, this is the fun thing, is that she's normally not going to do that, but you start associating with her with people that she doesn't like, and she gets really mad. And for good reason. I mean, this is a good, you know, if somebody said, hey, to be fair, that's the urinalists and the leftists that do that. No, I'm not arguing that point either. I'm just simply saying that she really doesn't like it. Any actual Brit won't. Look, I'm just saying, the fact that they did it makes it bad. She does not like that at all. It is, how you say, it makes her very angry. It makes her very angry, to call them Asian. Because then she's like, I'm Asian. Not these stupid not these dirt-humping bastards. I won't use the exact terms because they're a little too crass for Twitch. But she is not amused. She's not amused. And it's very funny. Oh, it's so funny. Oh. It's like saying the Italians and the Brits are the same. Why? Well, they come from the same relative part of the world, therefore they're the same, right? That's how this works, right? Yeah, no, it's totally right. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, let's see here. We have Triarii, archers, an awesome temple to Ceres. I forgot. Okay, hold on. There was one place in particular that did my archery, and I'm trying to remember who that was. Are those my archers? Oh, they both do archers. Oh, hello. Whoa, what the hell happened here? And then we have the largest stock market, or sorry, a 1,000-point drop in the stock market. Oh god. I talked to one of my bosses today, and let us just say that he is unhappy with the situation, and I basically told him, I was like, well, at least we have the stuff. Oh wait, and he just kind of got quiet. And he goes, yeah. Yeah. It just sounds so defeated. I meant it as a joke, like, oh, we'll laugh it off. It's okay. We'll make it through this. He was like, no, that's bad. That's very, very bad. Oh. See, lucky for me, I'm not in fear for my job, but I know a lot of people probably should be. At least not yet. I'm not gonna get hit yet, but I'm not that far up the totem pole, so I wouldn't expect it to be that far away from me, to be honest, but I'll make it regardless. One of these days, bang, zoom, straight to the moon, you know what I'm saying? Now, let us see. We need an army to go marching in. And let's see, do we have another general out here? We do not. We need another general, a brave man, a young man. This is the thing. We need a young hero. 20 and 24? Okay, maybe this guy. This bald man that looks like he is questioning your sanity. He will be our hero. He will be the man to lead us to victory against the dirty Spanish. I mean, the Spanish. He will teach those Spanish girls what it means to be Roman and to submit. Let's see here, but I mean, I think the Japanese are behind all this. You know why? I think the Japanese, or sorry, I think Ubisoft is behind this. I think the French are behind this. You know why? The French did a couple things that were really. Oh no, I didn't like that. Let's see, where was this? I think the French are behind this. They've jacked up the games. They've got people swimming in the poop rivers filled with oil and poop. And now they have the Japanese game that is causing a freaking international incident. I think they crashed the market on purpose. Oh, didn't Capcom have like a transgender person pose in front of their corporate office? And they're like, yeah, look at us. We're totally hip and cool, guys. And I was like, ugh. Oh boy. So at least the Brutii are doing their job. However, I seem to have been cut off from advancing further east. There seems to be this really awesome...
Let us now talk reasonably.
You may be... Okay, I will agree to a ceasefire if you give me that region.
Regretfully, we must decline.
So they have one settlement left. They have one settlement left on the map, which means all I gotta do is take out that one settlement and they all fall down. They all fall down.
Let us end the bloodshed.
They want to become a protectorate. No. No. They'll become a protectorate.
Regretfully, we must decline.
Then an army is going to be coming up your backside, and it's going to be just jamming as many hot pokers into your butt as possible. Asturica. All right, so let's see. Do we have another? Oh my goodness, Londinium. Why are you angry? What happened to you? Why are you so mad? Jeez. I should have butchered you all. Don't worry, I don't make the same mistake twice usually. I will treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. I will treat you like the pretty woman that you are. Speaking of pretty women that are going to be treated very well, let's go ahead and treat these freaking Irish the way they should be treated. And who had the IRA working with local British people? Who had that on their bingo card? I never would have guessed that the IRA, like the Catholics and the Protestants, the British and the Irish, were like in lockstep, hand in hand, singing Kumbaya. Oh, we have an early morning siege. All right. Because I'm not gonna lie, on my 2024 bingo card, that would not hit. Not that I am well keyed into British politics, because I think they're all disgusting anyway. But I wasn't really ready for that.
Our soldiers have reached the gates with a battering ram.
Ah, druids. Very good.
Ram, the enemy gate is down.
That is very unfortunate for these druids.
Destroy them.
I wonder how many actual soldiers I need to do this. I want to see the result of you speaking Mandarin, Negatia. No, you don't. And neither do I. I'm not interested in that at all. Like, I'm not interested in that. You give me this option and I'm not interested. I'm not interested in anything you have to... I'm not interested in this. Plus, I don't know how to speak Mandarin, and more importantly, I don't want to. I don't want to speak Chipmunk.
The walls are taken.
That makes me want to see it more. No. See, the thing is that I have no need to speak Chipmunk to anybody. They are just getting brutally murdered. How are they doing that much? These are light infantry versus heavy infantry. How are you doing any damage to me? And you've got extra armor. What is going on here? Like, this should be just an absolute nightmare for these guys. There should not be... I should be like losing one guy. You're talking heavy armor. Good lord, why does armor even matter in this game? Light infantry. I mean, those guys better have like massive attack or something. Because they just chewed through about a third of a unit of heavy infantry, of experienced heavy infantry. Plus, why would you want to antagonize her? Good lord, she doesn't like the Chinese that much anyway. Why would you make this worse? Like, all it would do is just stoke racial tension. Why would you do this? I stir pots, that's what I do. Yeah, but she makes rice, that's what she does. And you don't see her doing it to everybody either.
Gods be praised! The enemy general is
Alright, let's just kill these guys and be done with it.
Their doom approaches.
Alright, let's finish the job. You have to stir the rice too. I wouldn't know. I don't cook my own food anymore. And even then, I don't think I ever really ate rice when I was single, so, you know. How? How are these guys doing that much damage? How? How are these guys doing that much damage to me? These are peasants. fighting in melee with heavy infantry. I honestly, for losing this many guys, I would do decimation. I would take 1 in every 10 men and have them commit Sudoku. I lost so many guys. 140 men. This one warband killed 53 dudes. The Druids killed 26. That's insanity to me. That makes no sense. They must have gotten some massive buff in that. There's no reason that a group of rebels at level 1 troops are doing that much damage to armored Principes. We are going to teach these bastards a lesson. Yeah, you're going to be angry. Yeah, I'm sure you're angry. Me too. I don't care. Like, you're gonna learn your place. You're gonna learn it fast. But yeah, I don't know nothing about rice. I know that whenever Geisha watches people like, oh, you need to do this to prepare your rice, she usually is like, no, 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 and she usually starts to get angry at the phone or the computer or whatever she's watching it on. Look, there's one thing that is true among all Asian people. They know how to make rice. I don't know why they are so adamant about how to make rice. I don't know why, but they take that shit personal. And to this day, I'm like, it's okay. What if they just make it wrong? And they're like, no, you don't make it wrong. What if you just did it right? Like, well, what if they like it that way? She goes, because it's wrong. It doesn't matter if they like it that way. It's wrong. See, it's that lovable moment where I just try to give her a hug, and she doesn't accept it because she's just so angry. And that's how you know you found the right one. The one that looks at rice and goes, yes, I'm willing to die on this hill. And you just go, okay. Alright, let's see. Can we leave? We can leave that many troops behind. Got 2 Triarii. Archers. We could probably give some up. Can we make more? We can make more. Alright, very good. And how is everybody else's Monday? Hopefully it went well. Oh, look, I'm gonna educate so many Gauls. It's not even funny. Dude, the Gauls are gonna be just as educated as Romans are. When I say that, I mean they're gonna become proper Romans. So I should have just massacred the whole lot of them. I should have massacred every single one of them. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, there's all these buildings out here. We're gonna take this, we're gonna tear that down. Market, nope, gone. Muster field, gone. Can't tear that down. Can't tear that down. Yeah, no, we're starting from scratch here, boys. There we go. That's better. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to edge Gauls? I'm gonna edge Gauls? No, 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 no. We're not doing edging. We're educating them. We might do a little bit of edging. I don't know. Are Gaulish women pretty? I don't know. I've never met a Gaelic woman, as far as I know. And if I have, I'm not aware of it. Now let's see, we're going to put you right there. Can we... No clue. I don't know anything about their physical description at the time. I'd imagine they're not that pretty. I know that the Danes, they were considered very attractive. Fun fact, the British women were more attracted to the Danish men after they invaded, because they did this really cool thing called bathe. They actually took care of themselves. They washed regularly. They, combed their hair. They even braided their hair. And so the British people, being at the time borderline barbarians with a little bit of leftover Roman stuff, We're pretty barbaric, apparently. Bathing was something you did very rarely. But the Danish, the Vikings, were like, no, you should probably bathe. Games will be thrown in honor of... okay, games will be thrown in my honor. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I'm sure that the Germanic women were not exactly hard to look at in many ways. Well, at least when they were... Whoa. Why are you guys, like, on the verge of... Okay, I've murdered your entire town. There's 600 people here. And you people have the balls to rebel? Why? What in God's name do you think you're gonna do? Alright, we have to take a look at these guys. What is going on over here? Unrest, culture penalty. Distance to capital. Okay, that's why. It's the distance to capital plus all these other things. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that I didn't butcher them enough. I did not put enough degenerates upon crosses. A mistake that I will resolve next time. We need to get better about... We need some of that Germanic ingenuity to be thorough, right? We don't want to leave people behind. We want to make sure that everybody feels like they're being represented upon those crosses, okay? It's a very important... I'm being told that's very important in the near future. Look, we don't want people to believe... We do not want people to feel like they're being left out. Some people get to grow up and become doctors. Some people grow up and become lawyers. Some people grow up and become lamps, okay? But yeah, I don't think I've ever read any documentation, or if I have, I've skipped over it and it's never really registered, of what Gaelic women really looked like. I want to say Spanish women for a long time were considered like the most beautiful women in Europe, but I don't remember when that was. I don't remember why that was. That is something that is, I'm trying to remember, and I think I remember reading about that at some point, where it's like, oh, the Spanish women were always very beautiful. Maybe because they had that cafe au lait complexion. Who knows? All I know is that they, Asturica. Alright, can we? Yes, we can. Fantastic. We will go and we will fight them in the streets. We'll fight them in their homes. We will fight them in the bed sheets if we need to. But they will all learn to obey. Put some walls up. Let's see. Do we have anything else we can upgrade here? Yes, we do. Let's do Roman soldiers. Oh, no, we want food. We want population growth. We need, as Greta Thunberg says, unlimited population growth. We need unlimited population, or GDP growth. Speaking of GDP growth, again, I find it hilarious that the British are in the position that they're in. Like, it's sad because at least in the United States,
We request your help.
Wait. I need Greta to shut the fuck up and die. Their offers: attack factions, Scythia. The Scythians. You want me to attack the Scythians? Am I trading with the Scythians? I don't know. The Scythians. Am I trade partners with them? I think I am trade partners with the Scythians. But they are going to give me 2,000 gold. I mean, they aren't Roman, and I don't care, so I guess let's do that. Let's see what happens. I am now making 18,000 gold per turn. See, that was a good decision. That was a wise decision. Yeah, I like how Greta Thunberg became unpopular as soon as she became 18. The little Down syndrome, where is she from again? Like, Switzerland? Sweden? I don't even know. Little Down syndrome child is no longer useful, therefore no one likes her. That's great. And then we have, let's see, then we have Kamala going up on stage saying it's good to be woke. Like, I don't think she knows what that is. A new man, Gaius Marius. Reach the Marius event. Okay, Gaius Marius proposes series of laws that allow the military to join his reorganized Roman army. In return... Oh! Oh, so now we get the better units. Okay, every soldier will be given land as a kind of pension. This reform is passed in the People's Assembly without the approval of the Senate. It's a certainty that such popular and populist people do Marius no favors in the long run. Really, why not? The troop types available for recruitment now reflect the structure of this new professional army. Check out the recruitment scroll to view the details. Auxilia. Early legionary cohort. Legionary cavalry. Where's my just legionaries? Where's my standard legionaries? Hey, the music changed. I don't remember this in the original game. Let's see. Morale, melee attack 5. These got the Hastades do more damage. I thought the legionaries had stuff. Huh. Let's see. What is this build for me? Urban cohort, Praetorian cohort. Did they change some of the art? I mean, I don't remember them doing this. I don't remember that at all. Maybe I'm misremembering? But these are weaker than the Principes and the Hastades. I think the Roman cavalry are a bit better, and they're yeah, the Roman cavalry are better than the cavalry or the Auxilia cavalry. Let's see, let's go somewhere else. Do they have? Yeah, the Roman Auxilia. Hey, look, they're happy again. It's because I threatened to murder them. Where'd the music go? It's like the music just stops. There you go. So, well, hold on, video game. I liked the old music. It's not that I dislike this, but I like the old music. Bring it back. But the music changed. Is that just me? Battle of the Train, early legionary cohort. Oh yeah, there's the legionary cohort. Okay. Melee attack 9. Okay, well let's just start pumping these bastards out. There's the early legionary cohort. Can I build those over here or just the regular legionary? Early legionary cohort. Can form testudo, use a missile weapon before charging, good morale, good stamina, good sap. So what's the difference between this one and this one? Oh, legionaries are way better. Okay. This is what I want. This is the I'm gonna mess you up unit. Okay. And there's this guy going, what the hell? Who will be the first ones to learn the terrible lesson of don't mess with me? Early legionary cohort. They do 9 attack, and these guys do 8 attack. Alright. And if we're going to reform the military, let's reform the military. Except for you guys. You guys are better right now. Just base. Oh, never mind. That's what I want right there. Boot those guys. Disband selected units. Don't need those guys no more. Now, where's that general? Where'd he go? Where'd that general go? Did he die? What the hell happened? They did! They killed him! Oh, those bastards killed him! Well, I can solve that problem. Those bastards killed him. I need more money, though. I will bring my enemies to justice. I will teach those. I will hear the lamentations. God damn you bastards! You blew it up! God damn you! These bastards think they're gonna get away with it. See, this is the thing. That's what's so funny about all these British people. They think they're gonna make it. They're not. Now, we're going to move these guys right there.
Waiting to ambush. Imperator.
I am going to force these bastards into a fight with me if they if it's the last thing I do, really. That's the Dr. Krieger thing. God dang it! You blew it up! God damn it! God damn it all to hell! See, the audio is kind of weird now. Like, the music is being weird. Like, it's kind of just cutting in and out. I'm not really sure what that is. But I remember eventually I just make entire armies out of Praetorians, which is funny, but, you know. 20,000 gold a turn. It seems excessive. Come on, Span.
Let us end the bloodshed.
No.
Until next time.
I have a way to end the bloodshed, but it's not involving you you surviving. That's the problem. Why are you angry? Drop this down. There we go. We don't really need the money. We have lots of money. Oh, look, you're under lots of stress there, bud. Let me solve this problem for you. Do we have a single spy in the area? I do. We're gonna try and get our spies in there. I've got 2 Hastades. Oh, I can still retrain my Hastades. Very good. Early legionary cohort. That's not bad. But let's see. We need some smithies in here. Oh, finally. Keep that nice and low. We want this to grow up nice and we want these to grow up nice and big and strong. Yeah, we want all of our little children to grow up nice and strong. And let's see, where is this? Massilia. Do that, and that, and that. Okay, there we go. Take forever and a day to get that done, but that's okay. It's not like we've got wars to fight and win or anything like that. It's fine. And let's see, early legionary cohort. Where's my legionary cohort, though? Wait, can y'all not do that? Archer Auxilia. Really? Y'all are that far behind? Good lord, okay. Y'all are my infantry guys. That's weird. I wonder if... No, they have all that too. They're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're gonna try to reform their military soon. Then I'm gonna have to fight actual factual Romans eventually, because I'm pretty sure the Roman Empire part comes into play soon. But I could be misremembering. Because I think I need to look at the actual objectives, because I forget what the actual objectives of the game are. So now in a couple days, though, something good's gonna happen. We have Alien Romulus coming out, where we get to see modern day versions of Alien again. I'm excited. I can't wait. Now, I forget what was the actual objectives. I forget. Where do I look? God dang it! Where do I find those? Nope. Where's the objectives? Factions, finance, family, lists, followers. Oh, there. Emperor. Become the supreme ruler of Rome and control at least 50 provinces, either by direct ownership or through protectorates. Victory conditions 439 turns. Current mission 1. So I need to rule Rome eventually.
Besieged settlement, sir. Settlement under siege, sir. Fleet ready.
Yep.
Fleet ready.
Alright, so we're gonna send this
General.
23-year-old to go be the commander of an army, which, I mean, to be fair, that's this time period, that's not too far out of the realm of normal. There we go. Got some good old Romans there. Some good old Roman legionaries. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. What else we got? Town Watch. How much do Praetorians cost? Melee attack 12, melee attack 9. I don't think I'm ready to start pumping out Praetorians. Those are kind of expensive last time I checked. Yeah, those are 720. Oh my. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Legionary cohorts, how much do you cost? Oh, the mark of the beast, are we? Okay, well. That's not ominous and foreboding and horrible. Unlocks new traits and followers. Let's get some more growth in here. Why are you angry? That's more than enough for y'all to take care of. But hey, on another bright note, there's a real possibility I'm going to get done with my project that keeps taking up all of my time. I'm going to get done with that early. I'm going to get done with that a month early. I'm super excited. Like, by the end of this week, I will be 99% completed. I may have 1 or 2 locations I have left to work on, and then I'm done. And everybody else that does my job is going to be still scrambling to get their positions done. I'm super excited about that, because I cannot wait to be done with this project. That makes me excited. That makes me happy. It also means that I don't have to drive around everywhere as much. So I'll be in a position where I can, you know, just relax for a little bit. I don't have to be constantly running around from A to B, non-stop, all day, every day. Well, up until the next project, but I'm super excited about that, because nothing says to me, you've done a good job, like, okay, I'm going to take a few days off. And actually, that's another fun fact, is that our director's like, hey, because of all these things, like CrowdStrike and things like that, y'all are free to have 2 days off, you just tell us the days. And I was like, nice. Those days are coming up for me. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to take Geisha somewhere nice. When I say nice, like, I don't know, like a restaurant. Oh, it is it? Oh, let me fix that. Hey, guys, you dropped something. It's, been in the wars. I like that. What's your resume? I've been in the wars. Now, I don't want to take this settlement until I know for a fact that I'm going to have my general there. Not because my general is actually going to do anything, but because I want him to have the experience. That's what this is about. This is about experience, right? There we go. Let's get some more of that in there. They may have upgraded. They may have given us all new gear. They may have given us all these new fancy toys, but they still use pigs and they set them on fire. Imagine being a little piggy, and your whole job is that you are going to be set on fire, and then like kind of pointed in the direction of the enemy. Like how much would you be unhappy about that? I know I would. Wait, this guy's is that poor? That's what I wanted. Wow. Okay.
Prepare for battle. Begin the siege.
It's gonna take you 4 turns? What the hell is this?
Under siege, sir.
Oh, it's wrong thing. There we go. I was about to say, what is that? How does that make sense? Now, if they fight me here, I'm gonna be probably in a bit of a pickle. A bit of a pickle, as they say. Let's see. Let's get some Roman cavalry. Ooh. Oh, but yeah, no, I was looking at the abandonware section of the internets, and I got really excited because I saw some games in there that I've actually been wanting to play for decades, but I know I can never find them anywhere. And then I forgot about my abandonware, and now that Fokker has lovingly reminded me what it is, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be great. Now I can make you all suffer as I play games like The Thing. And The Thing was the very first thing that popped up. I got so excited. I got so excited. It is unreasonable, the level of excitement that I had. Now let's see, Carle. I don't remember the old game having a distance to capital issue. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't remember that being the issue.
Sir!
I don't remember that. Oof, that governor's not doing too hot. We're gonna move you over there.
March!
Let's get these guys squared away. See, what else is going on in the world today? I don't even know. Let's see here. Oh, I had some fascinating conversations, and I need to look them up. But apparently, there's a guy that I was talking to today who basically, I've seen this kind of more and more. I think COVID, like it changed a lot of people's worldviews. It's kind of interesting to me. I love talking to people about what they believe, and just seeing what they think. And one of my favorite things, especially, is that Flat Earth is kind of coming back in a vengeance in a really weird way. I'm not saying you can't believe it. I'm not saying that you can't be convinced or listen to the arguments. But part of me is just like, man, like they are really.
Have mercy.
No, you will receive
Until
none.
next
You,
time.
you took my friendship and you basically just wiped your butt with it. So no, there will not be any mercy here.
Aye, Captain. Disembark? Can't do it, sir. Move out! Ready to sail!
There we go. And there's a guy I was talking to, and he's like, he kind of listened to Joe Rogan talk about something, and that's, Joe Rogan's not my favorite guy to listen to. Most of the people he talks to, in my opinion, are kind of boring. Some people are interesting, especially like the guy that does the Atlantis stuff. Like, that's always interesting. But it is rather impressive to me how... Oh, fantastic. Okay, good. This is y'all's last settlement, so this will be easy. But there was one point, the guy that I was talking to was telling me how it's... there was a captain in the Navy who allegedly went beyond the ice wall and proved that there's lush green jungles and stuff on the other side, and that's where the space lasers are. And I was like, dude, don't get me wrong, like, I understand people lie to us all the time, but I don't think they're lying about the fact that that's there, because, like, I need someone to explain to me how, if that's true, if that's the case, I need someone to explain to me, like I'm 5, how you can have an ice wall that's only in that part of the world, and then all of a sudden the world starts being, warm enough again to actually have, not an ice wall.
Our soldiers have reached the gates with a battering ram.
Like, why would ice melt on one side and not the other? Sorry, why would ice melt? But then on the other side you have ram it home. Oh yeah, hell
The
yeah.
enemy gate is down.
Look, man,
Our battering ram has done its work.
don't joke about this stuff, man. You get it in there good, man.
General! Units! Ram!
Oh, oops. Whatever,
Great
fine.
gods! Our soldiers have done well this day. The walls are taken. Our soldiers are at the walls. Now they must batter a way through.
Can these guys form
Roman
test tutor? I don't even
engineering
know.
Triumphs once more. The walls are down.
No, these guys can't form
Order
test
your men
tutor.
on to victory.
Run! Run!
Forward! General! Hurry!
Go, boys, go!
Units!
Archers. Oh, hello. Oh, look, they've got reinforcements. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna... Run. Run. Run! Fly, you fools! Archers, you better run. Why are you not running? Oh, just butchers. Just being a game that might be interesting group play in the future is Once Human. It looks like a survival-based building game mixed with looter shooter style combat. I'm not against it. I think I saw that the other day. Run! I need archers to be over here to start pelting these bastards. Now I need Triaria over there to start taking care of these freaking... There you go. All dead.
The enemy general is dead. His men know their doom approaches.
Yeah, I think they already know that.
Be praised. The enemy's hearts are full of fear, and now they flee.
There we go. Just get those archers up, man. Get those archers going.
The enemy general is running away. This is
I
no
would.
way for a leader to behave.
Just gonna sit there and keep getting hit with arrows the entire time, man. There's nothing to do here. Ares be praised. Our victory is assured.
It's time to press the attack.
I mean, I would... If I was Roman, I'd be praising Ares at this point. Except it wouldn't be called Ares. I think it'd be called Mars because, you know... Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, except for wrong god. Or, sorry, right god, wrong name. I'm just going to let my archers do all the damage that they want. They seem like they're happy, you know? Archers are like pilots. They're only happy whenever they're shooting things from very far away. There we go. And by the way, like firing a bow, like everybody thinks that that's not very hard. I've known people that say, "Oh, it's like you can't be that tiring." And I was like, "Go ahead and put four or five arrows through a bow. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel about having to fire a bow 4 or 5 times."
The gods.
Yeah, like you do that a couple times on a non-compound bow, you're gonna start to feel it. You gotta really train those muscles, man. It depends on the bow and how you're firing it. I'm talking about a standard, like, let's just do a standard compound bow. Guess what? Gee, I hope the British learned their lesson. Hey, hold on. Why are they still around? He looks like he just saw something horrible. Like, this guy looks like he just saw, like, a horse just take a dump in his freaking home. The faction leader, you say?
Sir! Imperator!
No.
General! Can't do it, sir!
I need them to retreat back in their little hovels. So what's left? You'll be strong enough for it if it's your job. You'll get used to it quick. It's still tiring. Like, firing multiple waves of arrows is very tiring.
Imperator!
Even in training, like, you're going to start to get tired after a couple volleys. It is... There's different kinds of bows, obviously, yes, but it's still taxing. Like, you'd have to sit there and do that all day, every day to train those muscles. The urban cohort. And even then, like, you'd still be tired as hell, man. Nah, you're using the big muscles for the job. Heavy war bows only around 100 pounds draw weight. Again! Like, it's still gonna take a toll, man. That's still gonna be kind of a big deal. Oh, we go. I thought we had one more of these things. I thought we were on the last one. No. Freaking British people always trying to expand their empire. Bastards. Where can we get some? There we go. Maybe if you're a little girly, man. No, it's just, again, if you're firing volley after volley of arrows, like, you're gonna tire out, man. It is taxing to fire a bow. It's not freaking Hunger Games where you just pull. It's not the Hollywood Ready of bows, man. It's like people that kind of hold the gun up to their face and in the air. It's like, what? Are you a girly man with your girly arms? I'm not gonna lie. My arms have definitely shrunk since I took this job because... I'm not gonna lie. I've let that go way too long. I've actually bought myself some weights. To be fair, she was using a bow that had a 60-pound draw max. I mean, you don't need all that much power to do much to do something with a bow, but still, like this isn't Hunger Games, man. Popularity falls of the Senate. Oh God, no! Didn't I just have games held in my honor or something?
Combining troops. Sir! Sir! Forward!
There we go. No, drop it back down to low. Make people happy. Well, no, it isn't. A quiver on your back is a bad idea. I know the quivers. I know they show it like that, but the quivers usually are on your side, and they only hold. A traditional quiver holds like 5 arrows. Like from what I've seen, like you're not holding like an entire bushel of them. You're not like holding like 30 arrows or something. You're usually holding like 5, and that's just like because why would you? Well, no, it isn't. Yeah. It looks cooler. It does. I'll admit it looks cooler, but there's really no benefit to it, and it's kind of a hindrance because then you have to reach that far. Whereas if you just have a small quiver like on your leg or on your side or across your back, like or across the not your back, like like what is it? It's usually across your belt from what I've seen. But it's not in your way, so it's kind of behind you. It's where your rifle would be if you've got a 2-point sling. That's kind of what I've usually kind of said. If you pushed your rifle to the side and you had a 2-point sling, it's kind of like where that would be. It's where the quiver would be. It's like just down and off to the back. That's where I would say it is. Let's see. How much do these guys cost? 170 for upkeep. Quiver will probably be about 10 to 20 in your waist. 5 and under would be something mounted on your bow. Professional archers would usually have a fistful held with the bow itself, so they can lock. I'm thinking of old school. I'm not thinking of modern day. I'm thinking of I have a wooden bow. Maybe it's a recurve bow. Its only job is to be there as a hunting weapon. A pantheon. This is old school. They did. Okay, all right. Back in the day. A long time ago, they didn't have things to lock up an arrow on a freaking bow. The Pantheon, the Mantheon. She is an important figure in ensuring the crops are sufficient to feed everyone. Yes, exactly. How much does this cost? 6,400 gold. Done. We will make that shrine. She will enjoy the fertility. She's going to enjoy that fertility so much. We're going to make her so fertile. Yeah, you can. You just need to be creative. Tie someone's skull to the bow and stuff the arrows in the soft part. Okay, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying they didn't do it. Like, they had little quivers for that. Or they had, like, little bundles they'd keep on themselves. Or better, they would just keep an arrow knocked and they would just only have one arrow. Like, hunters back in the day would do that. Even in the military, you had your quiver. That's what it was.
Aye, Captain.
Alright, so next thing. What else can we do here? Oh, I think everybody's building something, which is good. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, there you are. Sorry. I am fairly certain about what I'm saying, too. I've read enough history and I read enough stuff about how stuff works. I feel very confident in my assessment. Although it's going to be really weird in the future looking back going, wow, I lived through history and it sucked. Rioting. Rioters in England? Oh my god, I never thought they'd have it in them. I never thought they'd have it in them. Rioting in England. I'm just surprised that the British line archers would usually have them lined up tip first to the ground next to them since they weren't moving much. Well, okay, so again, everybody's a little bit different, right? I can't speak for the British longbowmen or the British line archers or anything like that because I don't really know much about the British version, but the average archer usually keeps their stuff to them. And it's usually, like, if they're stationary playing defense, then yes. But quivers were also useful because they could just, they carry arrows wherever you go. Strap them to your legs, strap them to your back. And yeah, they kind of bounce with you a little bit, but they, the idea is that you have an arrow. You're not going to be firing arrows off back to back to back to back to back. You're usually going to be doing them in sequence, so you have a little bit of time. I cannot wait to get one of my armies ready to go. One of my new and improved armies. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I thought there was one temple that like gave me weapon upgrades, but I guess not. I could have sworn that was in the original game. There's a foundry. There it is. Upgrades heavy weapons +2. You don't deserve temple upgrades. Yes, I do. I'm a good boy. I did nothing wrong. See, I could become a completely heartless shill that was like, hey, you know what is recession-proof? This channel. Donate today to invest your money in something more wise than crypto. The value of that, you deserve a bad prophecy from an oracle. How dare you? I've done nothing to you. You wish evil upon me in such a manner that makes me sad. This is the city of Damn!
General, orders, onward! Sir, prepare for battle!
Hey, buddy.
Victory! Attack!
I'm just gonna auto-resolve that.
Victory! General,
Huzzah!
prepare for battle! General,
There we go. The only crypto worth putting any money in is Bitcoin or Ethereum. The rest are do-nothing joke coins or scams. Yeah, Boogie did that once, recently. Scammed a bunch of people out of their money. Crypto itself is a scam, though. I'm sorry, it is. If I was a government, I would absolutely adore the idea of crypto. Mostly because of the fact that it is a completely open book. You see everything that everybody's doing. I may not be able to stop you from doing it, but I can see it. It's an open and publicly traded item. And every time you trade it, there's a transaction record. I mean, really, it is, in my opinion, probably one of the worst things you can invest in. It is... I think the only difference is that it makes everybody know what you're doing rather than just the people in the bank know what you're doing. But I remember the height of like 2016, everybody's making their own coin. You had everybody making their own coins. Hell, I remember the commentator Milo Yiannopoulos had a freaking coin. I wonder how that turned out. But yeah, everybody and their freaking grandmother's been making those things. And now the only people that do that now are people that are jokes. Like, who's going to bother to who's going to bother to buy like any streamer's Bitcoin stuff? Like, if you do, that's a terrible decision. It's still a disguisable transaction, especially if you know what you're doing. US dollars are absolutely traceable unless you stick to trading it face-to-face and leave it out of the bank. I mean, yeah. I mean, but like anything else, there's always a limit, right? Like, if somebody really wants to find it, they can. Oh, hello. So I need to take their place before they take mine. And I believe that's the... Oh, hello. That's not the last place on the market. Okay.
General.
Here I was getting complacent thinking that we were done. We are not. Katie, stop. Yeah, I think that crypto is useful for now, but I think that it won't be for very long. I think that it's too much. It's too much of a liability for governments, and it's too tempting. It's way too tempting of a target.
Archers! Units!
They're gonna want to control it, and people say, "Oh, they can't." It's like, yeah, but if they control the majority of the Bitcoin, that's all that matters.
Our soldiers are at the walls! Now they must batter a way through!
There'll be ways to lock you out of it. They don't have to lock you out of the actual transactions. They can lock you out of, like, oh, access to power. They can lock you out access to network. They can lock you out in 1,000 different ways that don't involve locking you out of the actual coin itself.
The gods have smiled
The US
on us
dollar is
today.
no better than any
The
crypto. It's
walls
just
are
more
broken.
stable. It's a currency
Our
that has...
troops
Oh,
should be ordered forward.
yes, they should.
Units! Move it! Units! Move! Move!
Ram! Lead the ram!
Archers! Units! Hurry! Hurry! General! Hurry!
Run! Just charge the gate! Every man for himself! It is value as long as people believe in it. The benefit of crypto is there's a finite amount of it. Which does help. I mean, that does help a lot, but I don't think that's enough. I think as governments get more and more involved with it, and they are, and they're probably a lot more than we think they are at this point, I think it will actually cause a problem later on, let's put it that way.
Units! Hurry! Units! Units! Quick fire at will! Units! 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 Archers! Units! Units! Double time!
Let's go over there.
Quick defense!
And we're gonna walk you guys over there.
Forward!
The benefit of crypto is a finite amount of it. There is a finite amount of it, but even then, there's only so much you can... Even then, there's only so much you can do with it, and... Again, a completely digital currency always makes me feel uncomfortable. There's only one medium of exchange, and it's the internet.
Forward! The enemy king is fleeing! This is truly a great day for Rome!
It is. And battle. Now let's teach the mud-eating barbarians what it means to resist Rome. Also, those Hershey Kiss helmets are really gay.
Victory!
We're gonna exterminate.
Is Roman!
Yeah, you better be unhappy. I'd be unhappy. I didn't make you resist. That was your decision. Nobody said, "Hey, bud, you're gonna resist me." Nope. Nobody ever said that. You chose this life. I remember specifically the Spaniards saying, "I didn't choose the thug life. The thug life chose me, and oh boy, did it choose you." Uh-oh, population decline. That's not good. We need to find ways to get people to have babies. Lots and lots of babies. Extra baby batter. I like just making the regular legionaries.
Imperator!
Okay, now let's move you guys right there.
Onward! Ready to ambush! Imperator! Orders, General!
Let's get you, your face looking like what the hell's going on here.
Orders! General!
Alright, very good. Got this guy. Oof. H33 and you got that dude. Ugh. Gazette, what's up, Hail, Kaiser. Oh, you know, just having fun with everybody's money's on fire. Making fun of the British. We were just kind of just talking about random crap right now. We're just kind of hanging out and having fun. I keep wanting to look more and read more into the Gaelic War and kind of regalia. To entertain you with song and hearth and all that fun stuff, but I genuinely, I just have not had the time. I keep saying that like it's an excuse that actually matters, and it doesn't, because it just says like, oh, I didn't make it. But no, it's true. I just don't have the time.
General.
Your economy is bad. My economy's not bad. The world's economy is in pretty much. Look, if I ran the world's economy, it'd be in much better shape. You know why? Because I'd recognize that I'm too stupid to run the world economy and go do what you want. So my economy would be fantastic, because I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Just don't sell babies. Don't sell baby organs. Don't sell people. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the sale of people, that's banned. Everything else is pretty much good to go. Also, don't poison people. It's like, don't do that. In other news, 54% of adults in the U.S. have a literacy level below the 6th grade. Yeah, no. I look. Here's the thing. It's not complicated. I don't know why, but if you told and asked somebody, do you think you're smart enough to run these things? Most people would say no. And then if you ask them, do you think you can get educated on this? They'd say no. It's too complicated. And then if you ask them, hey, if you can't do it, do you think somebody else can? And they immediately go, oh yeah, absolutely. Those people, they're fine. I'm like, how do you hold these things in your head at the same time? How do you do that? Like, oh, I'm not smart enough to do it, therefore somebody else should be smart enough to do it. This isn't an anime. This isn't like where the protagonist is super, super smart. You know? We had higher standards when I was in school, and it was testing 92 percentile without trying. Again...
Prepare for battle. Victory! Prepare to ambush. Onward.
Again, there is a finite... It impresses me how people can hold some things in their head that are completely self-contradicting if you just go, okay, well, you can't do it, but somebody else... Are you stupid? No, but you think somebody else can. Do you think the people that are doing it now can do it? And if the answer is yes, why aren't they? And if the answer is no, then why do you think they can do it? Like, I always enjoyed these logic puzzles where it's like, okay, explain to me the logic behind, you know, some silly little thing. Okay, well, the logic doesn't work out, so how do you say this is true, right? It's also like the ultimate test of who people are, right? And this is one of the things that kind of convinced me more than anything else that people were genuinely like I wouldn't say that they're evil. I would say you know, the people are evil, but that doesn't mean they're always evil, right? People are inherently evil. Maybe we're destined to go back to living in the 1800s conditions, but with electricity and internet. Then we won't be going back to the 1800s. Culturally, there might be some benefit to that. Technologically, no, there won't be. You can't. But one of the things that we had a discussion in one of our philosophy classes, and I really enjoyed this because I kind of already geared myself towards this, where it's the idea that you are the sum total of your decisions. Now, some of those decisions were made without thinking. Many of them probably were. But then you get into the idea of, okay, well, have you ever lied? Okay, yes. Okay, have you ever cheated? Okay, yes, so you've cheated. Okay, cool. Have you ever stolen? Okay, well, yeah, you've done that. Okay, cool. You just called yourself a lying, cheating thief. What makes you think that you are ever trustworthy? Well, I only stole a pack of gum. It's like, okay, you stole a pack of gum, but that doesn't make it any different. You still did this. It means that you have the capacity and the desire to do it. You've done it once, you can do it again. You know, it's this really weird, it's this very interesting argument that I've had with people. People are inherently stupid and lazy. The naturally intelligent and hardworking ones are actually a small percentage. I don't believe that people are stupid and lazy. I think people are generally... I bought a box of Little Debbie zebra cakes without much thinking. See, that now decide you're one of those people.
Until next time.
So, you're fired. Why? Why am I fired?
Aye, Captain.
What have I done? What have I done? You tell me what crime I have committed. You show me the crime and I'll show you the man.
Orders. General. March.
Ooh, they don't like that. But no, it's a genuine question. Like in a philosophy course, like one of the things that I really appreciated that because it got people to think like, hey, if you think that you are so trustworthy, why do you... People are inherently lazy. Most people look for the easy way out or do at least the amount of work possible. Some people do, yeah, absolutely. I agree. And many of them may do so, but I don't think it's everybody. I don't even think it's 50%. I think there's a large majority of them, or sorry, a large group of them, but I don't think it's everybody. Like for instance, I think you set the tone for a lot of the stuff that you do, and you set the tone for lots of other people too. So I've always been one of those people that I hate to say the words that people gravitate towards me, because that's not necessarily true, but usually people like me or they hate my guts. My brother was the first one that kind of said that. It's like, people either gravitate towards you, or they can't wait to leave the room when you're in it. Like, that's the response that you get from people. And I was like, man, that sucks. You know, it's like, wow, I can't stand to be in the same room with you. You are such an annoying little shit. I didn't really take that negatively, but the jury's still on that. It's a love-hate for me. Look, that's fine. That's fine. Look, I'm always open to, like, I'm always the idea of I'm friends with everybody. Or as much as I can.
Sir!
Oof. They're gonna make me take this, aren't they?
Sir!
They're gonna make me fight this out.
March!
They're gonna make me work for this. You laugh. Why do you laugh? There are good Romans that are gonna die here. Why do you laugh? Why are you laughing?
Sir!
You probably should get some guys in there too.
Imperator!
I literally have too many general. You're in charge, so it's your fault they died. No, it's not my fault they died. They died because they couldn't hold their shield up fast enough, okay? That's not my fault. You can't blame me for that. See, look, I'm building so many colleges. I'm gonna teach all... I'm providing free college to all these people, okay? He had a name on it. It was Robert Paulson. What are the British doing in Poland? Wait, what? Well, I guess they are in Poland. They are slowly getting pushed out of everything they've had, so... I took away their home. England is now under the sovereign reign of the Romans. And we have gone deep. British identify as Germans. Well, that's because the Germans took them over. When was that? When was the last British king? It's been a hot minute. The last British king was a very long time ago. The British have not had a British king in, what, a couple hundred years? It's been a really long time. So there was a German king whose idea was that they wanted to, what was it? They wanted to conquer the world. And so their idea was to basically, okay, just seed the German blood into the royal lines, and they did. That's because Queen Elizabeth wouldn't fucking die. No. Their current king is not British. He is not British. There's a difference. When I say British, I mean ethnically British, not like of British descent. It's, they don't have a British king. Ethnically, they don't have a British king. They have not had one in hundreds of years, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I think there's... whoever William the Conqueror conquered, the Scots, technically? That's because actual Brits cost money. Well, those were expensive on the slave trade. But, I mean, first off, okay, I want to know who came up with their horrendously awful accents. Like, put me around rednecks every day of the week. Put me around hillbillies every day of the week. Their accents are more... I don't even want to use the word tolerable because it's not correct. I like their accents more than I like the British accent. I find the British accent to be one of the most insidiously disgusting accents on the face of the planet. You're telling me you don't love Cockney accents? No, I'm telling you that I find them all disgusting and horrible, especially the thick ones. Like, the ones that sound pseudo-American, I'm fine with. Like, if you have a little bit of British accent, it's fine. But 90% of it needs to be removed. Like... I just don't like it. Myth is fond of the chavs. I don't even know what the chavs are. So one of my friends, he's a lawyer. His wife is Australian, and I told her to her face, I was like, "You're lucky you're married to somebody that I like, because I really don't like the British accent, and I wouldn't talk to you otherwise." And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I was like, "See that right there? I hate that. Why do you accept that? Like it's a British mentality. Like it's the Canadian mentality too. You apologize. Don't apologize to me for this. Why are you apologizing to me? And she's like, oh, it's just so, you know, I just didn't know that you didn't like it. I was like, it doesn't matter if I don't like it. It's the mentality. It's the way that you talk. It's the, oh, I'm so sorry. Well, look no further, feller. You found a guy with a deep South accent. Sunshine, you're in the right place. Y'all come back now, you hear? There's some really weird sayings in the South, and some of them I just can't help but laugh at. It's like the bee-back powder. Oh, bee-back powder. I love bee-back powder. Oh, bee-back powder. And I guarantee you nobody knows what the fuck I just said. No one. They have no clue. Nobody in here knows what I just said. Maybe Guns and Knives does. Maybe. But I guarantee you, anybody else that's watching this, unless they're from the deep south, is not going to know what the hell I just said. They're going to think that I'm crazy. I did not mean to click that twice, but oh well. Yee yee. Oh man. I bet Falker's looking it up right now on Urban Dictionary. Like, what the hell's bee-back powder? How do you spell that? See, I need more places to build Roman legionaries. I need more Roman legionaries. How many legionaries do you need? The answer is more. The Vicus Gothi right up there. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. But yeah, we've got the stock market crash of our lifetime. Another one. We've got impending war, which is great. Really love that. I'm really glad the fact that I lived long enough to watch the Roman, or not the Romans, I'm sorry. All that too. We're gonna see what these guys do. I'm gonna live long enough to see the. I live long enough to see our entire nation go to war for 20 years to install the Taliban after removing the Taliban. Very smart, very wise. I really applaud the way that our military works sometimes. It's impressive. They have a single. Oh, snaps. Okay, they have a lot of them. Okay, hold on. Do you have North Africa? No, that's Scipii. Alright, so we may lose some, we may lose some units here. We may lose a lot of units here, actually. Alright, these guys are not my problem. As a matter of fact, I'm not even worried about these guys. I'm going to keep like 2 units here and the rest are going this way. Why? Because they only have a single freaking... Oh, no, hold on. If they go straight forward, yeah, I won't be able to... I'll have to fight them. There you go, Myth. What is that? As a millennial, I'm wondering if my generation is just cursed at this point. No, we're not cursed. We are not cursed. That is not the problem. It is not a curse that is the problem. The problem is that most millennials have zero moral compass. And I mean zero. We have we are the very first generation in American history that just has zero understanding of where we come from and what we are for and what we have done. Like, we just don't get it. And it doesn't matter how many times you try to explain to somebody, they've been told their entire lives that they're bad. Have you heard Gen Z slang? I think the millennials are doing better than that. We are. But we're the first generation that really has no idea what we've done. That's the sad truth of it.
Units! Cohort! Bring it back! Attack!
Run out and get him.
Legionary!
I'm just glad I'm Gen X. I believe that you're glad you're Gen X. Run back inside. Run back inside. Quick, 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 quick. Maybe we can break the AI. Break the AI. I dodged the millennial bullet.
Pick up pace. Units!
Go, boys, go!
Pick your pace.
These are bull warriors.
Legionary cohort. Legionary cohort. Attack! Quickly, legionary. Pick up a cohort.
Oh, they're gonna start tearing down all my stuff. I've done nothing to the Spanish. I unfortunately didn't dodge it came about in the economy because of the boomers. See, that's another thing I don't really like about that either.
Pick up pace. Cohort.
You open that gate, you be okay, I guess we can't. I guess we're stuck with this.
Pick up pace. Legionary cohort. Forward. Pick up pace.
I wonder what Gen Alpha will be like when they come of age. I don't want to know. I don't want to know at all, man. Like, there's some things that I'm curious about, but the older I get, the less and less concerned I get with it.
Fire at will.
Like, it is extremely sad that we are... The curse take was a long time coming, but the boomers accelerated it. Well, I mean, you know, you got... as much as I hate to agree with something that's just being disparaging to other people, but like the idea that you've got multiple generations that say, I will do anything for my kids to get them where they need to go, and you've got some parents that say, you know what, screw you, I did this by myself, so should you. And it's like the most disingenuous and evil thing you can do to your kids is to tell them, yeah, I don't care. Like, that's just so mean. I'm not saying you gotta, like, you know, bend over backwards or bend over forwards for somebody. But, like, you know, the idea that you would say... Because my parents did this too. Like, well, you need to do this yourself. Why? Because that's, you know... I did it all by myself. And I was like, okay, who helped pay for your college? Oh, my parents did. Oh, did you help pay for mine? No. And there you go. I did that myself. Well, yeah, but we didn't have any money. It's the equivalent of throwing your kid in the deep end to learn to swim. It really is. There's so much... And I think millennials also are the first generation that didn't have, like... that had, like... They really experienced broken households at the start of their lives. And so you have this generation that's raised in broken households. This really doesn't help. Like, they have no ties to a bunch of stuff. And there's nothing more that destroys wealth and opportunity quite like divorce and destroyed households. Most say that they did it to themselves. Usually don't recognize how much help they had. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's the sad part, right? You're 100% correct. They don't realize how much help they had. You know. Oh, I did it by myself. It's like, well, let's say you did. But, like, the world is very different now than what it used to be. And that is something that if you cannot accept that, I don't know how to help you. Because there's so many things that are different from our parents' generation and my generation that it's not even funny. Get in there. Get your fingers down in there, boys. You get it. I don't care how bad it smells. You get in there and you teach those Spanish women what it's like to get real enjoyment. All right, there we go. That's another gift from the boomers. They allowed the breakdown of the nuclear family, murking up the parental roles and downplaying the part fathers play in the household. Celebrity single mother like it's a good thing. Yeah, I'll never understand that. As somebody who grew up in one of those households, looking back on it, whoo boy. You open your children up to a lot of... Maybe one day I'll tell you some real horror stories that I went through, because I usually only do the funny ones, because there are some that are just downright disgusting. I've witnessed some really disgusting things that have happened in my household. So not my household, in my mom's and my stepdad's house. Things that, had certain people in my family known, there would be violence. As a matter of fact, if we told anybody in my family, there would be violence. Oh, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. There you go. Beautiful.
Cohort. Drink your pain.
Yeah, this idea that you should be venerating single motherhood is an absolute joke. Actually, it's worse than a joke. It's not even funny. It's just sad.
Standard formation. Standard formation.
Orders completed.
There we go. Surround! Oh, I will in a minute. Crowd! Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's what we're doing, man. What do you think we're doing?
Legionary. Drink your pain.
Maim, kill, burn! Maim, kill, burn! It's fucked up. It's provable that fatherless children have worse outcomes. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But they knew that. They knew that, but they just didn't care. They were told they heard a lie. They wanted it to be true, and so they acted on it, thinking that that there would be no consequences to anything they were doing. You know, oh, it's like they did. Oh, it's better that our families are broken apart. Why? Because reasons. And people, even today, they buy it hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because it makes them feel good. They don't have to suffer the consequences of their own actions. Prove me wrong. Alright, let's go. Oh, hello. Friends, because mommies say the kids are misunderstood? Literally, yes. They will literally say that. I have literally had a parent tell me that before, and I just said, no, your kid just needs to be spanked. Like, no, your kid doesn't need to be misunderstood. Your kid is not at the age where understanding them is an important part of their lifestyle. Like, you don't need to understand your kid. Your kid needs to understand you. That's it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what you think. No, your kid is... It is not important for your child to be understood. It is important for them to understand you. No, Susan, your kid's a shithead who needs a beating. No, exactly. Unironically, yes. I just jumped in the middle of a conversation that I have no idea the subject at the moment. We're just talking about general, like, the breakdown of people, like, the breakdown of society, and kind of where we are right now and how it led to this. And just in general, the boomers are the ones, like, everybody blames the boomers. And I was like, yeah, but they did a lot of the damage. They did. I'm not willing to say the boomers are the ones that caused every single problem. How preceding generations have made things worse. No, just like 2 or 3 in particular. It's one thing to be duped by people before the invention of the internet. It's one thing to not understand certain things. It's a completely different one to purposely throw things away from your life because you see no value in them. It's almost like the argument for tradition is the fact that it's stable, and people don't realize how important stability is. Like, the reason you have had the success you have had is because of stability. Boomers, as in the 60s generation, yeah, that works, yeah. And then, yeah, I'm not talking about colloquial boomers, I mean actual boomers. Like, the boomer generation. And their kids. I think the current breakdown stems from the boomers. It's a snowball effect from there. Prior, it was much more stable. It was. But then you've got people that start accepting different weirdo kind of philosophies that don't make sense, that don't jive, that aren't stable. They really want to just do stuff that makes them feel good. DC's 50s and 60s. Hell yeah. Now, let us see if we can trap these people between a hammer and an anvil. Yes, you are. Yeah, my goal is to smash this entire army between these guys and these guys. Hedonism, exactly. Debauchery. That's true, it is. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And I think, and I'll go even further. I think you can tie it directly to the sexual revolution. And by the way, that has caused another thing. I blame hippies, and I agree with that too.
The enemy general is running away. This is no
Yeah, you're not far off the mark on there either.
battle. It's beyond belief. The The enemy army is in flight. Pursue them and drive them from the
Absolutely,
battlefield.
sexual elevation was a
Great
mistake. It
gods
wasn't a
be
mistake, it was
praised.
coordinated.
The enemy general is killed.
Like,
Fear
I mean,
makes a home in our
what was
enemy's
it? There
hearts.
was, there's an old saying, if you want to destroy a nation, make porn free and plentiful. Like, I'm not saying I don't enjoy a good titty thing, but still, it was a mistake that people jumped on board with it. Well, yeah, but you get that entire thing. Like, people say, oh, I've been repressed by my life. I've been repressed by this. I've been repressed. Believe me, many of these Gen Zs need to get thick belts slapped across their asses. Yeah, but they'd like that. Look, as a person who does enjoy a good, you know, a good set of debauchery every now and again, but still. Well, yeah, now. But I'm an adult now. Gen Z came about it because they haven't had proper guidance. They're only partly to blame for what they are. See, I'll take it back to the philosophy argument. Once you know that you have a problem, whose fault is it that you have a problem?
The enemy general is killed.
You know,
Fear
like
makes a home
once you
in our
okay, then a
enemy's
nice slap
hearts.
across the face. There you go.
Ready for orders. The enemy army is in.
Nailed it. See, I would say this, that once you've recognized that you've got a problem, word them down and I'll fart on them. You know what? That might be more effective, though if they're German, they might like that. Defeat Spain. The Spanish have been defeated. Rome has conquered Spain. Very good. Very good. Now, we're going to merge these armies together. We're going to go for a walkabout, as the British say. Much of them don't recognize the other problems. Some do, though. Hence why we see a rise of conservative values in Gen Z. Yeah, barely. We see the movement in that direction. Walkabout is Australian term. Oh, whatever. It's British to me. It's all the same. It's all the same level of degeneracy. Speaking like speaking like like anybody cares. Now get them to make you some burritos. Wait, who's making burritos? I want a burrito now. God dang it, DC. Why you do that to me? I've done nothing to you. I need more money. I'm only making 18,000 gold per turn. I need more money. Yeah, let's get all the things that make me money. Increase that, increase this. Aussies stopped being Brits a long time ago, but they still have that unnatural love for the monarchy like the Canadians do. You conquered Spain. Ah, yes, no. The women shall now be forced to make me food. Absolutely, 110%. Absolutely. No choice in the matter. A burrito dinner is your reward, man. Hell yeah. Dude, I accept it. I accept. If my reward is burritos, oh my god, a good steak and cheese burrito. Oh my god. You might need to build a navy, sail an army to the Middle East, and start conquering it. No, I see how this ends. I see how this ends. Everybody says you gotta go conquer the Middle East. I do not know why everybody is fascinated with that freaking sand pit. That goddamn litter box that we call the Middle East. I will never understand everybody's obsession with it. But they've got oil. There's oil everywhere else, too. And with Taco Bell sauce. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Wait, hold on. Which one? Burritos. I agree with that, yes. But yeah, I'll never... Myth is claiming prima nocta, but with food. Oh, you know, I'm just like, I claim your women. It's like, no, not the women. It's like, they shall make me food. And like, no! It's like, and that is it. I conquered you for your burritos. That's it. Prima nocta wasn't even a real thing. That's always a fun thing. They made it up for the movies. It is strictly a Hollywood thing. Prima nocta, like, I don't think it was ever actually done. At least not to my knowledge. I think somebody said they had a right to it, and then they just said, yeah, I have a right to it, but I'm not going to test that right. Because, holy crap, that's terrible. And, I don't want to get murdered in my sleep. Because remember, back in the day, you could get away with lots of stuff. Sleep with a man's wife? Oh no, that starts to have problems. You start banging every newly married woman? Oh no. You will soon find yourself in a position where you're in trouble. Beefy 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell. See, here's the thing. In order for me to get through college, so I graduated college with no debt. Okay, I graduated college with like money in my account. I had graduated and everything was paid off. No debt, no nothing. I did this in part by eating dollar tacos from Taco Bell every day for months upon years. I have to force down Taco Bell when I eat it. And as a matter of fact, Geisha and I don't go to Taco Bell. Ever. Because I cannot stand Taco Bell. Yeah, Prima Nocta is begging for a revolt. Absolutely, a very violent one. Because you are violating somebody on a level that cannot be undone. This is not money. This is not crops. This is somebody's sanctity of marriage. Which I know we don't care about nowadays. Oh, it's so silly. Why would you care? No, it matters then. And people that say it doesn't matter now, no, it does. It matters a lot. Enough to where people would go, if I can't even have my wife in my household, then I won't have anything. And at that point, neither will you. I'd rather burn the civilization to the ground than let you do that. That's what that does. So even if that law ever existed, and I want to say it existed on paper, no one was ever stupid enough to do it. It doesn't matter up until it happens to them. Ask Destiny. See, Destiny though I don't even want to use the victim of his own ideas, but he is. He cannot see beyond his own selfishness. That's kind of his biggest problem, is that he cannot see beyond that. It's the only way I can really describe him as a person, is that he's so self-absorbed that even though he has been shown the light multiple times in a way that everybody else goes, dude, how are you not blind yet? He still doesn't get it. He invited it, but it's the same. He acted like his wife sleeping around was no big deal until he got cucked by a twink. Yeah, pretty much. Oh crap, they're gonna beat me to it. I hope they don't.
General. Fleet ready.
Yeah, no, it is impressive how much that man can walk around pretending like he's superior to everybody around him, but in the meantime, he's essentially a walking laughingstock. And the thing is that he has the capacity to make reasoned arguments. It's not like he's retarded. He has the capacity to make actually reasoned arguments. I've heard him make arguments that I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree, but you have a good point, right? I need to look more into this myself. But he is so blinded by his own ideas and his own selfishness that he cannot see past it. That's his... If you want to say that's his biggest sin, I would say that's probably the biggest one he has. He is just incapable of seeing beyond that. I still think it's fucked up he is a kid. Yeah, I think that his kid also thinks that too. I mean, let's just say this. If daddy lets mommy bang whoever, you're not gonna like daddy that much. But again, think of it. Look more into yourself. Please keep your clothes on at this point. Look more into yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. You know, like give yourself a hard look, and really ask yourself: is this what a healthy human being should look like? Right? Does a healthy human being let somebody have sex with their wife because random? Like, is that healthy? I mean, in reality. And I think most people, if they really ask themselves the question, they would say, oh, maybe for some people, but not for me. And most people would say that. And it would end up being like, oh, yeah, no. I mean, some people say yay, some people say no. But most people would end up saying no. I don't think that, like, letting your wife sleep with random people is a good thing. Or I don't think most women would think that letting your husband sleep with or your boyfriend sleep with other people is a good thing. I think most people get that. When I say most, I mean we're talking like 90+ percentile. Even if they're okay with other people doing it, they'll never want it to happen to them. I don't think Destiny's any different, except Destiny is one of those people that is like, well, relationships are all about feelings and not about physicality. And I was like, no, it's about both. You know, there's a reason why men respond more to physicality and women respond more to the emotional. You intertwine those two together and you create a bond. Sorry, but if you can't figure that out, you're retarded. Like, this has been known and understood since the beginning of freaking time.
Prepare for battle. Besieging settlement, sir. Settlement under siege, sir.
There's not been a single civilization that has existed that has not understood this. And anyone who doesn't understand it doesn't deserve to have this civilization anymore. Mostly because it'll evaporate on its own. It's sad, but it is true. But speaking of watching the civilizations evaporate, so who here is taking bets that England exists in 20 years? Because I'm betting against it. I'm betting against England. I think England doesn't exist in 20 years. I suspect it will revert back to not the what do they call the era whenever they have like the Viking kingdoms that start establishing themselves, but it's gonna be like that, but in the modern day, and Islam. Like they're already demanding it right now. Yeah, I'm taking bets. Who thinks they're going to exist in 20 years? The standard for marriage across religions is that two people vow to be committed to each other, so why did Destiny and his ex-wife get married in the first place? Ireland is a much better accent. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that entirely, actually.
General.
Oof, they are very unhappy. Why does this keep flipping over to high? No. England is going away? Absolutely it is. And they're packing it up and they're taking it with them. Why don't you know this? Like, this is common sense now. I think Germany has got a slightly better chance of existing, but not by much. More Romans. We're gonna move these guys way over there. But yeah, no, you're right. It's like again. And I always thought it was weird because every religion, because marriage doesn't really, as far as I know, I don't think marriage exists outside of religion. Like, that's kind of the point, right? And I know there's like people say, oh, there's a socioeconomic factor to this. It's like, we have like why you would do this, and you would do this because if you don't do this, you end up with people that will abuse people, or they'll end up, or like, oh, why does the 1% not constantly have sex with all the prettiest women? And why do they have enforced monogamy? And it's always this like very rational reason. It's like, no. It's because religiously, like, it's not because they say this is bad because of these. No, it's because if you don't, you'll end up getting killed. It's like, no, it's because religions say you should do this because it's healthy, it's good, and God commands it. Like, that's why you do that. But that's not just Abrahamic religions. That's almost every religion. At the very minimum, that's kind of the generic standpoint. And then you have like the more not polytheistic. I keep wanting to say polytheistic. The not polyamorous either. It's the polygamy. There we go. The polygamous religions, like, you know, Mormonism. You still are supposed to be faithful to those spouses. So it's like, well, yeah, you have more than one, but those are still yours, and they're your responsibility, and they're still your family. Like, there's still that mentality. So God needs to show himself if he commands it. Like when do you? I mean, I'm not telling you have to do it, DC. I'm just telling you what the thought process is. Is that marriage does not exist outside of religion, as far as I know. Although, if you have an atheist civilization at the beginning of time that does that, I'm more than happy to hear it.
They are braver. Good. Await my orders.
I do not believe it exists, though.
Landing position.
Like I said, however, if anybody has any other ideas here, I'm more than happy to listen to them. But as far as I know, marriage does not exist in an atheist religion, or an atheist scenario. Because why would it?
Soldiers have reached the gates with a battering ram.
It is it is a restriction upon something that does not exist. It is a restriction for a moral reason that does not exist.
The enemy gate is down! Our battering ram has done its work!
Kill them! Legendary cohort! Units!
Just saying, I don't see the point of marriage when the divorce rate rapidly keeps going up. Well, that's another good point, right? The divorce rate is going up. A lot of it because people don't take things seriously. They think that, I'll be faithful as long as I'm happy. And really, the divorce rate is going up because of, well, let's put it this way, it's not because of men. I'm thinking Germany by the 2030s could be a Fourth Reich. They're wanting to build up their military to be the protector of Europe against Russia. They're already Europe's strongest economy, and America is going to become isolationist again. Japan is starting to want to build up its military to stand up to China, except for the part where Japan won't exist in 20 years. Like, Japan seriously will not exist in a few years. Their entire nation is collapsing. Unless they get hyper-nationalistic and hyper-focused on making children, Germany will not survive. Actually, every Western nation will not survive.
Great gods! Our soldiers have done well this day.
They just won't.
The walls are taken.
And majority of them only care about money. Men to them are like walking ATMs. See, that is also a thing that is a result of a lack of any kind of moral compass. There's no point to marriage for men. Current laws making a bad financial decision from hold on. Ain't that the truth? Current laws are bad for financial decision for me, called bet half your stuff. And see, that's a good point, right? That's another good point. Why would you do that? Unless you really knew that person and trusted them. And that's kind of the hard part, is that back in the day you could trust somebody, but there was at least the laws to say, look, you can't just end this whenever you want to, but now those don't exist, even if you trust them. No, I get that. No. It's a big gamble. It's a very big gamble. I understand people don't like it. And again, as somebody who's seen what it does to people, because I lived it. Sorry, my parents divorced when I was really young. I've seen Japan is collectivist as fuck. I see them forcing them. No, they can't. They can't, because they're going to be suffering from the exact same problems the Western nations are. They are. It will only. So the thing is that Japanese culture is very weird as well. They're way more isolationist than other people are. It's kind of weird. Oh, well, there's that, I suppose. It's a one-sided legal contract. No, I agree. And you have to be very careful who you sign that contract with. Be very careful. I think 110%. Most women's thought process: my money is my money, and my man's money is my money. Very selfish thoughts. Well, again, and that's something that needs to be dealt with. And this idea that you can kind of get away with what equates to murder on every level and have no repercussions is a problem.
Great gods be praised. The enemy general is killed.
Careful doesn't even cover it. I've seen so many that were great until they weren't. Yep. No, I get it. Like I said, I get it. I'm not arguing that. Get him. And now I own Spain. Flet victus victor interit. The conquered mourns, the conqueror is undone. See, that's actually really good. I like that phrase. I forgot about that phrase. Because in a way, in many ways, that is 100% true. Like, war is never something that actually ends up benefiting anybody in the long run. It ends up causing more damage than good. Unless your goal is complete destruction, it's always going to be a problem. They weren't isolationists in the 1930s and the 40s. They were invading everybody around them because they don't have much resources on their island. The Japanese, when I say isolation, I mean on a personal level. Like, in the modern day, a Japanese person in the modern day probably struggles with depression far more than anybody else, because they are in a society that does not... Like, it's a very family-oriented society, and a society that does not really encourage people to have families anymore. Shinzo Abe was probably the last person who I know in Japan that really pushed it, that maybe could have had some policies that put them on the right direction, but even then, a lot of familial policies like that, you either do them or you don't. So if you're going to have a family, you're going to have a family regardless. If women are strong and independent, should they be drafted? No. However, if they choose to suffer if they really demand the equal treatment, then equal treatment should be there. Now, I'm also of the opinion that if you can vote, you should be able to draft, or be able to be drafted. I don't care. If you want the franchise to vote, if you want to vote, voting is, I think that, what's his name? The guy who did Starship Troopers, he's right. Voting is violence. It very much is in the same vein of violence. You are forcing your will upon somebody else. Rip Abe, yeah, really. I think that he's right. I think that he is 100% correct. Whenever you vote, you are voting your will upon somebody else. Whether that will be magnanimous, whether that be violence, you are voting your will onto somebody else, or their will upon you. In order to do that, you must be willing to serve. Like, there's no way around that. There needs to be a consequence and a barrier to entry to that process. And if you can vote for war and never suffer its punishment and its consequence, especially directly, then you should not be allowed to vote. Like, just straight up, you should not be allowed to vote. I'm more than happy for anybody to debate me on that, happily. Yeah, most Japanese have trouble, even with their families. It's not unusual to, let's see, the 19th needs to be repealed. We as men have the right to vote because they elected had the authority to send us to fight. That was the compromise, and they've moved away from land ownership requirements. I don't even think you should move away from land ownership requirements. Why should landowners, why should that be the case? The 19th Amendment said this is the only way that you should be able to do that. You either own land, you own property, that means you have a skin in the game, or you have served the state in some capacity. And I hate to say it that way because it sounds very communist. Women are given the vote without having to risk anything. Exactly, they're the worst voters too. Again, well, they never suffer the consequences of those actions because everybody shields them from it. You know, like, or if they don't, or worse, they will never see the negative impact of their own decisions. It's like teachers. Teachers are overwhelmingly left-leaning. Why? They are educators. I agree with that. Make selective service optional and tie it to the right to vote. Exactly. You know, if you want to vote, you must serve. Land ownership used to be a requirement to vote, but men are still legally required to sign up for selective service to be able to vote. They have to risk themselves as a person to vote. Exactly. Being able to be drafted was the thing that made you... that was the process. And that was the process up until we gave the vote to people who no longer have to fight. So you've got people that essentially are... We'll look at it from an economic standpoint. From an economic standpoint, non-net contributors. They are sucking at that tea. I wouldn't mind it if congressmen and women who vote in for war are also automatically put in the military service. The thing is, they would opt themselves out. Much in the same vein that, like, any politician's kid will never be drafted into the military, and if they're in the military, they will always be put in a position where they're not going to be put in harm's way, because the optics for that are terrible. Like Prince Harry. Prince Harry never saw combat. I think he was in the military, wasn't he? He never killed anybody. He never fought. And again, why should he? He's the son of a queen. Why should he be fighting on the front lines? He is quote unquote better than all of us. They'll always duck out of responsibility since they have the ability to decide if they do. Exactly. I made this argument today. I was like, why would putting the regulators in charge of the investigations of the regulations is always a good idea. Don't worry about it. They can vote themselves raises. See that I don't mind them being able to vote themselves raises. the amount of money they're going to vote the amount of money they're going to vote for themselves is not going to be anything in comparison to the amount of money they launder.
Forward.
I do. No, see, I don't see much of a problem with that. I think Harry flew helicopters, yeah, but I don't think he actually did anything, and they're already overpaid. Maybe. I'm willing to hear that out, because I think they're overpaid because they cheat. Like, that's what I would say that. It's like people like Nancy Pelosi, right? So, actually, let's look at it this way, right? Because we're gonna wrap it up after this, because I got, as much as I love this conversation, I have to go to bed. So, right at the beginning, it needs to be limited to 8-year service period, regardless of what they got elected to. Yeah, I'm not against it. But that means that you can't have somebody who becomes president if they were ever a senator or a congressman. But I also think that the traditional way of electing senators was correct. Is that every state had 2 senators. That senator was chosen by insider trade. Oh yeah, dude, there's so much of that. But I think that we need to get rid of the amendment that got rid of popular electoral votes for senators. That was probably one of the worst things that ever happened, because it means the states no longer have a voice in the government. It also completely changes the dynamic between the state and the individual. So technically, the 17th is what made the senators directly elect. Yeah, so that right there needs to be overturned. Like, we need to get rid of that. But we never will. That'll never go away. It will never go away. Like, that would require an act of God to make that go away. It also destroys the purpose of having a House in the Senate. It does. It completely destroys it. But that was the goal of it. The purpose of it was to undermine the House and the Senate. That was just like the Federal Reserve. But oh god, I was gonna say now, I forgot. Oh god. Right, I remember it now. This morning when things started going awry and everything started going nuts, you had what are those trading platforms? Trading platforms were freezing everybody's accounts. Oh, you can't sell right now. You can't sell. Meanwhile, all the big guys in the background, they were allowed to sell. So what they did is they made the people that had the most to lose. Those people are the ones that suffered the most with the economic crash. Now, I'm also of the opinion that if you sold right now, you're an idiot. Like, if you have anything in the stock market and you sell right now, you're an idiot. Like, this is the best time to put some extra money in, to be honest. Like, the market's not going down inevitably. Like, just continuously. You can always slowly buy your way out of it. Every little bit of it. Just bit by bit. Buy in a little bit lower, and it lowers your overall costs. But I remember whenever they did that this morning, and they did it for GameStop. They did it for lots of stuff where they make sure that the people that have power don't suffer the consequences of an actual market downturn. I hate that crap. I hate that crap so much. They purposely freeze accounts. I still find it hilarious how much AOC whined about how much she was having to spend and having to keep an apartment in DC, and now she's a multi-millionaire while getting paid less than $200,000 a year. Yeah, because she cheats. The U.S. government has been screwed up for a long time. People should have just trusted the system the Founding Fathers designed. I mean, yes, but the thing about trust is it only works up until somebody starts screwing with it. And to be fair, if we had done that, we would never have been involved in World War I, which, again, progressives absolutely wanted us involved in. And then we wouldn't have gotten much involved in World War II, which, again, progressives absolutely wanted. Like, Hitler was going down one way or the other. They didn't need us. Now, granted, all of Europe would be communist right now, but the Russians and the Germans would have bled themselves white. Like, they would have killed each other, and then the countries they'd invaded would have overthrown them. The government started violating the Constitution about 20 years after the founding. There's always going to be moments where that happens, right? Like, no government is perfect, and there does need to be some semblance of law and order. The difference is that you had a beginning of the country where you have, there's violations that take place, but then you have the government saying, we're going to also, like, give amnesty to everyone involved, like the Whiskey Rebellion, right? I think was that Washington. after they started passing laws to attack political rivals, which was expressly prohibited. Yeah, well, Lincoln jailed his own opponents and things like that. Anyway, I'm like, okay, we started way too late in this conversation because I am tired. I would love to continue talking about it. We should talk about it on Wednesday when we go back to Black Mesa. Lincoln needed to die 5 years prior. No, Lincoln needed to never be born. The fucking wig. It's a goddamn wig. He's a goddamn crown humper. Ugh. The street was too serious. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DC. I find this fun. He needed to die before he even got close to the presidency. Well, never mind. I won't make that joke. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. You're right. This was a bit more serious than I anticipated. I was hoping to make fun of the British and make fun of the fact that everybody's money was on fire, and here we are talking about actual serious political philosophy. But I still enjoyed it. I don't get to have these conversations much anymore. Everybody's like, oh no, okay, it was just different. Dave can't make fun of me since he's leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm going into the next room. It's very different. Daddy's not going to get. Is not going to get cigarettes and not coming back. Okay, I don't have the right skin tone for that. Okay, how's that for an ending joke? Anyway, have a wonderful night, everybody, and please don't judge me for that. Take it easy, guys.